Lily Carter had nothing but the clothes on her back and a small, worn-out backpack. She had spent the last few months on the streets, trying to survive in a world that seemed to ignore her. Abandoned by her family at a young age and left to navigate life on her own, Lily had become a shadow of the woman she once was. The city streets were her home now, and the world had long since turned its back on her. She didn't mind the cold, or the empty stomachs, or the constant fear of what the next day would bring. She had learned to live with those things. What hurt the most, what really weighed on her, was the deep sense of invisibility. People walked past her every day without a glance, without even a second thought. They saw nothing but a homeless woman, someone they could easily ignore. But Lily wasn't always like this. She had been someone once, a kind woman with dreams, aspirations, and a desire to help others. Somewhere along the way, life had stripped that away. One chilly December afternoon, Lily found herself sitting in the doorway of a small cafe, hoping for a bit of warmth and maybe a stray dollar or two. It was the time of year when people were more generous, or so she had heard. The Christmas season brought out something in people that seemed to soften their hearts, or at least their wallets. But even now, the bustling crowd ignored her, their minds occupied with the excitement of the holidays. That was until a young man named Ethan walked past. Ethan was a businessman, successful and well-dressed, and he had always prided himself on being generous during the holiday season. He made a point of donating to charities and volunteering at local shelters. But there was one thing he had never done. He had never actually spoken to a homeless person. He saw them as a problem, something to be dealt with from a distance. He never considered the stories behind the faces he saw on the streets, until he met Lily. When Ethan saw her sitting there, he almost kept walking, but something about her tired eyes made him stop. It wasn't pity. It wasn't a desire to help. It was something deeper, something that made him pause and consider how he had always looked at people like Lily from afar. Without thinking, he approached her. "Are you okay?" Ethan asked, his voice gentle but unsure. Lily looked up, surprised that someone had actually spoken to her. Most people avoided eye contact. She had learned to expect nothing. But this man's voice was different. It was full of curiosity, not judgment. "I'm fine," she said quietly, though she was far from fine. "Just tired?" Ethan hesitated for a moment. There were so many things he could say, so many things he wanted to do. But instead, he sat down beside her. He didn't offer money. He didn't offer a meal. He just sat, waiting for her to speak. For the next hour, they talked. Lily told Ethan her story, how she had once been a social worker, helping others in need. She had once helped families find homes, get back on their feet. But life had turned on her. She had fallen ill, lost her job, and eventually lost her apartment. It all happened so fast that she didn't know how to stop the downward spiral. Now she was just another face in the crowd, invisible and forgotten. Ethan listened, truly listened. He didn't offer solutions or try to fix her. He just heard her. For the first time in a long while, Lily felt seen, truly seen by another person. As they spoke, Ethan's heart began to change. He had always believed in helping the homeless through donations or charity work, but now he realized that it wasn't enough. He could give money, but that wouldn't change lives. Listening, understanding, being present, that was the gift he had to offer. Before he left, Ethan made a promise to Lily. "I'm going to do something to help," he said. "I don't know what yet, but I'll find a way." The next day, Ethan returned with a plan. He reached out to his network of friends and colleagues and shared Lily's story. He didn't just ask for money. He asked for something deeper. He asked for support in creating something lasting. He wanted to create a safe space for people like Lily, a community center that would offer not just food and shelter, but resources for reintegration, job training, counseling, and a chance for people to start over. Ethan didn't stop there. He didn't want Lily's story to be just another tragic tale lost in the shuffle. He wanted it to inspire action. So he used his influence to gather others who were willing to invest in this cause. He spoke to businesses, the local government, and community leaders, showing them how investing in people like Lily wasn't just charity. It was an investment in the future of their city. Within a few months, the community center was born. It wasn't just a shelter. It was a place where people could come and rebuild their lives, where they were treated with dignity and respect. It offered food, yes, but it also provided counseling, job training, and even partnerships with local businesses for job placements. The goal wasn't to give handouts, it was to give people the tools they needed to change their lives. And at the heart of it all was Lily. Lily had become the center's first success story. After months of hard work and determination, she had been offered a job at a local nonprofit, helping others who were struggling as she had. She became a symbol of hope, not just for the homeless, but for anyone who had ever felt forgotten or invisible. She proved that with the right support, anyone could rebuild their life. But the most remarkable part of this transformation wasn't just the center or the jobs or the lives changed. It was the ripple effect it caused. The community began to shift. People who had once ignored the homeless now stopped to listen. Local businesses partnered with the center, offering internships and apprenticeships to those in need. The city, once indifferent, now saw its most vulnerable citizens as worthy of compassion and investment. One act of kindness can change the course of a life, and a single person's story can inspire an entire community to rethink how they treat others. True change begins with empathy, seeing people for who they truly are, not for what they've lost. This holiday season, remember that giving doesn't just mean material gifts. Sometimes the greatest gift we can offer is a listening ear and a helping hand.